What's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm gonna wait for a few people to get in here, and then we'll start the friggin' party, because that's what this is gonna be. I've hijacked our Instagram account. I didn't have the password for a while, so I had to actually had to text somebody to get it. So anyway, how's everybody doing on the COVID watch right now? Everybody good? I somebody just said quarantine beard. No, this is well, it was that. It got pretty bad. It got pretty gnarly. And I actually had to shave the other day for a family thing. So, but that was like a week and a half ago, or a week ago, and I haven't shaved again. But anyway, and the hair is just completely out of hand right now. There's absolutely zero product in this right now. This is just what it does now. I find that kind of funny. But anyway, I figured I'd come on here and do, I don't know, just tell you guys what I've been up to on the break. I don't really post too much or at all anymore like I used to on Instagram. I haven't posted in a minute. And I got a little bit of exciting news about something I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. So you guys can tune into. So we're going to talk about that too. But I figured to do a Q&A and, just see how everybody's doing. That's all. Anyway, I have been, I guess while, Zach and Brent started working on some of the Smith Myers stuff before all of this happened. And I got to work on a record that I'm doing. And this is kind of what I've been all consumed with for a while is making a record for a graphic novel that I've been working on. So, or a comic. I'm not sure it's going to be a full novel right out of the gate. It'll probably issues of a comic and then it'll turn into a novel, but graphic novel. But I've been working on the music for that. So that's been super exciting here at the new sort of home studio setup. As everyone maybe does or doesn't know, once we got done recording Attention, I shut down the studio at Ocean Industries that I had for years. So this is sort of the interim little home deal I got going on here. So it's kind of like out like an outhouse. Jesus, not an outhouse. It's not in an outhouse. It's not in a bathroom. It's an outbuilding out here at the house, sort of a pool house type thing. So that's what I got temporarily to write and to do all this stuff in, and then when it comes time to start tracking the next Shinedown record, by then hopefully I'll have the new place built and we can get to that. Let's see. You guys just ask me some questions, because then I'll just start rambling if I don't have some direction. So somebody said it's a she shed. Yeah, it's like a she shed. It's like a dude she shed. That's exactly what it is. I'll show you. So this is so I got the gear all lined up over here. I'll flip this around or something. Yeah, so like there's all the preamp board and my gear, some guitars, turntable because I use that a lot. This is a rad painting that was done by a friend of mine named Douglas Panzone, and it hung up in my studio in the live room for years. And that's all spray paint, man. He's a great graffiti artist. So I figured I'd bring that over here and hang it up in here, which, it's just vibey and super cool. Kelly, my wife, says that it looks like a lighting store in here because I have lights everywhere. But, and then out here we got the piano. This is the piano that we did Get Up on and Special and all kinds of stuff, but I got it all mic'd up and in here, and so yeah, it's just kind of quaint in here right now, but it's been a super productive, super creative time. So we've been getting settled in here at the new place, and yeah, man, I've done some really cool writing. I've written some stuff with my friend Phil Dimmel, who formerly of the band Machine Head and now in Violence. Not formerly of Violence, it's currently of the band Violence. But we wrote a really rad song, man, and hopefully you guys will get to hear that at some point. Just been doing a ton of stuff, man. Just trying to stay busy and keep the depression away by staying creative. And so that's kind of what I've been up to, man. Let's see what we got going on here. Play Dangerous on the piano. I could do that, actually. I haven't. So this kind of sucks, man. Today we were supposed to start rehearsals for the deep dive tour. That was what we were going to be doing, and as we all know, that's not happening. But we're going to get back out there, guys, as soon as we can, and bring you guys a great show. That was going to be a lot of fun. The reason why that made me think of that is because somebody said play Dangerous on piano, and we were actually trying to find some maybe heavier songs that we could play a little more intimately during that show. And that was one that actually we had thought about. So who knows, man? Let's see. Who's my favorite band out right now? What have I been listening to? So check this out. I don't know if you guys have seen the ZZ Top documentary on Netflix, but my first memory of ZZ Top when I was a kid was these dudes with beards, fuzzy guitars, and a red hot rod. And for a 13 to 15-year-old kid, that didn't really resonate. And so I kind of never really got into ZZ Top. And then I watched the documentary, and it showed some stuff of them playing a live show probably in like 83 or 84, maybe even earlier than that, maybe 82. But they've got these coveralls on, and they're playing this riff that is so rad, man. It sounds like a Rage Against the Machine riff or like a Korn riff or something, and I'm like blown away by it. And I don't know, man. I watched that documentary, and that band became like the coolest band in the world to me instantaneously. And so I went out and bought a bunch of ZZ Top stuff, and I bought their I think it's the last record they put out called La Futura. It's one that Rick Rubin did, and I've probably listened to that record through 25 times at this point. I've kind of got this ZZ Top obsession right now. And then I've been listening to At the Drive-In a lot, of all things. I was always that band is really interesting to me too, man. So, but I kind of rediscovered them. They have a record that came out more recently, I think like 2010 or something. Maybe even later than that, maybe 2014. I don't remember, but I've been listening to that a lot too. So. What else? But my favorite band out right now, I don't know. I don't know if I have any new favorite bands or not. That's kind of weird. It's kind of tough. I have songs that I really love right now a lot. That song by Selena Gomez, man, Lose You to Love Me. That's probably one of the coolest, best songs I've heard in a long time. So you can't sleep on the pop artist at all. And she wrote that song evidently all herself, and it's really, really good, man. So I don't know. I like a lot of different weird stuff. Let's see. New Shinedown album ? I've had let's see. I talked to Brent like the last 3 days, and I talked to Zach for a lot recently. I haven't really talked to Barry, but that's not because I don't love him very much. Just haven't connected in a minute. We've been talking about the music and what the next record's what our vision would be for the next record. And so we started those conversations. And I mean, I say we haven't got anything written for the record yet, but we might already have things written for the record that we just don't know are for the record yet, if that makes any sense. Like, we've all got bits and pieces of things that may or may not, become Shinedown things. So who knows? We might have already started on it. We just don't know it, but we haven't officially sat down and like started writing yet because we can't right now. And, but Brent and I have talked about doing some Zoom sessions or something and starting to throw ideas back and forth. But for me, I have to concentrate 1,000% on a Shinedown record when I'm doing a Shinedown record. And that's from the inception to the last mix is done. And right now, I'm really in the middle of working on this record of my stuff. It's not a solo record. Like, it's not like I don't want people to think that I'm making an Eric Bass solo record. I'm making a record that is a soundtrack for a book, and there are lots of different voices on it. I mean, I'm doing all the voices, but it's not like, I don't know. It's kind of nice because you get to act. I'm not really acting out characters, and it's not like that, but just the way that each character's when there's a character speaking through the music, each one of them kind of has a different inflection, and it's been pretty neat and pretty nice to figure out. But I've got to get all of that put to bed and put away, at least musically, and then and also the writing of the story has been going on too. So, but I got to get at least the music done and finished before I can get into a Shinedown record, and then but that'll be happening sooner rather than later. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through doing my stuff. So, and once that's finished, then we'll get into the Shinedown stuff. So, anyway, what else we got? Come back to Brazil. We would love to come back to Brazil. We have a makeup show we got to do down there. We played Brazil a few years ago. And had these had a massive technical problem on stage at a festival down there. So that really bummed us out, man. It was terrible. So I think we only got to play like 3 songs, and nobody could really hear what we were playing anyway. It was a problem with the sound system. So anyway, that's so we need to get back down there. Atlas Falls on Deep Dive, possibly. That's actually a pretty good possibility at this point. I know Brent's spoken about the song a lot, and Zach's probably spoken about the song to you guys as well. That is one of the songs that I was so bummed out didn't make Amaryllis when we were making that record. Like when it came time to decide what songs were going on there, that was just one that I always loved that song very much, and it just sat away for a long time, and then it came. It popped up when it needed to. So I'd love to play that song live. We've never played it. I thought it was going to be something we'd never have a reason to play. So I think we'd probably be into that for sure. Oh, I see everybody saying hi to Zach. That means he's on here. You want me to connect you, little buddy? You want me to here, send me the little thing, and I'll hit the button, and you can come on, and we can talk if you want to. Can you shout out my band Half Past Dead? We love you and Shinedown. What's up, Half Past Dead? Everybody go check them out. I bet they're fucking awesome. Do you only release songs for disasters only? Wow. Well, no, not really, but I think we've released 6 records, and I hope they weren't all disasters. Zach says he can't do it because he's Easter egg hunting. That's cool, man. I miss that. Happy Easter, everybody, by the way. It's kind of strange, man. It doesn't feel like it. I just kind of forgot that it was Easter today. My favorite tattoo, I've said this before, anybody's been there, but I got this one on the top of my hand, and it's my compass. When I was getting the tattoo, we were on tour with Papa Roach, and Jacoby was sitting there with me while I got it. But it's, now this is backwards, but the compass has F, H, L, and H, and that's faith, hope, love, and home on it. I just love that. It's one of my favorite things. So anyway, so guys, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to do my friend Mark Riley's Star Wars show. He's got a Star Wars show called Riley's Cantina. If you go on YouTube, I believe his channel is just Mark Riley. That's Reilly. Yeah, Riley's Cantina tomorrow night. It's only supposed to be an hour. He and I talked the other day. We might go a little longer, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I love talking nerd stuff, and I'm way deep into it, and I know way too much about it, but it should be fun, man. So Mark was going to come on here with me too, and this is also a super bummer is that he was supposed to get married yesterday, and I was going to fly from his wedding to rehearsals, and of course he and his fiancée Julie had to postpone their wedding, which is really terrible. But man, everybody's got such a good attitude about all of this right now. So anyway, since he's not going to be on his honeymoon, I get to do a Star Wars show, so that's a plus. And I'll post it on the on my Instagram and on Shinedown Instagram tomorrow to remind everybody to tune into that. And you can get in the chat on that. It's all live. It's a live show. So if you have any questions, you want to know about my opinions on Star Wars. Mark's like super knowledgeable. he was at Collider for a long time, that Collider network, and I was on his show called the Riley Roundtable that he did there. And I believe you can still find that interview as well. I think we talked for like an hour and a half just about Shinedown and being a creator and being a writer of not only songs but of stories too. So anyway, but that's what I'm doing tomorrow night, and that's kind of why I wanted to get on here anyway, was just to tell you guys about that. So I think it'll be super cool and a lot of fun. And yeah, I do need a haircut. I know. I need a haircut really badly. But I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to get a haircut right now. I thought about just clipping it here and then just doing the mohawk and just shaving it. I mean, that's kind of my only recourse at this point. It is just, and there's no product in this right now. This is just what it does. And I can't figure it out. Like, all of a sudden my hair just decided. Maybe this is why I'm listening to At the Drive-In so much. Because those dudes had afros, man. Like, you know, crazy hair. Maybe I've listened to so much At the Drive-In that I've given myself At the Drive-In hair. I don't know. My favorite song, your favorite song you've released as a single. Let's see. Favorite single. Man, that's tough. Cut the Cord's fun, man. I'm proud of that song. That song was took a long time to be born, but I like that one. That's a good one. Just me personally. And you know, Devil. I like all the heavy stuff. Devour, Sound of Madness. Somebody said that we were all struggling with bad hair lately. We are all struggling with bad hair lately. Dream Shinedown tour lineup. We've done some of them, man. You know, I know we just we spent that summer tour that we just did with I guess it wasn't summer. Maybe it was summer. Yeah, with Asking Alexandria and Papa Roach and I guess if you put Bad Flower in that for us, man, that's just some fun times, man. Those groups. We became really good friends with the Asking Alexandria guys at the beginning of the Attention tour. We went over to play the festivals in Europe, and Zach already knew those guys sort of. I didn't know them at all, and they came and watched a couple of our shows, the first couple of shows we did in Germany or I forget exactly. I think it was Germany. I think it was Rock and Ring, Rock and Park. They came and watched the shows, and then. Man, I'd just go and hang out on the bus with him and talk to Ben and his wife, Sierra, and you know, we just kind of hit it off with everybody, and you know, then I got to know Sam pretty well, and so anyway, anytime you can tour with your friends, that's like the most. It's, you know, yes, you'd love to be on tour with the Foo Fighters and watch them play every night, or you'd love to be on tour with Metallica and watch them play every night, but you're not going to get close to those bands really, you know, and it's nice to just be out on tour with the people that you, in this industry, that you hold dear, and the people that you love to, you know, that you love to be around. Papa Roach guys, man. I mean, there's not a, I can't find a bad thing to say about those guys. So, to me, that's just a fun tour, man. And there are a bunch of other bands that are like that with us too, man, that we're friends with, that we would love to tour with again, and will tour with again. Who wouldn't I tour with? Oh man, let's not be negative right now. I've only got two of those people that I would never tour with ever again. And I'm not gonna, there's no point in being, there's no point in being negative right now. We got enough of that. Favorite Disney ride? My wife asking me that. Favorite Disney ride? The hotel room when you and I get back from Disney World. How's that? That's my favorite ride at Disney. All right. Legitimately favorite Disney ride. I like, I gotta go with Pirates of the Caribbean, man. Just old school. I loved that when I was a kid, and I still love it. Love the smell of it, everything, man. It's like, you know, it still does it for me. I'm just you know, I'm a giant child. It's the great thing about being a musician. I heard Joe Rogan say something the other day about being a comedian, and it's so true when it comes to artists and musicians, is you realize at some point that you never have to grow up. and it's the best feeling. It's very liberating. You don't realize it right at first. You still feel like you have to do adult things, and I'd still do adult things, but I don't ever have to grow up, man. You know, that's pretty nice. You do to an extent. I got to pay my bills, you know, and I can't pitch fits too much. But other than that, I don't have to grow up. I get paid to play with toys all day. I mean, look behind me. This is just ridiculous, right? How's my back? Thank you for asking. My back is actually really good. I did my very good friend Dr. Mark Lucky, who has a facility here in Charleston called West Ashley Health and Wellness is what it's called. He takes care of me, man, and I went in there and got stem cell injections and PRP injections. In not only my back, but my neck. I also have a herniated disc in my neck that had me really messed up when we were in Europe in December and November. But anyway, I'm feeling great right now, man. I'm got the workouts going again. Dino and I, you know, we got stuff going on. He'll I know we're all supposed to be quarantined. He comes out of the house and you know, we work out twice a week, and I got to see my boy. I love Dino to death. If nobody knows who Dino is my trainer. He's also trained Brent here in Charleston. His Instagram is Fit Culture by Dino, and he's probably one of the best human beings on the face of the planet. But anyway, we've been doing a lot of strength training. I'll do like a 3.6 mile run before my workouts every day. So I'm getting it back. I'm getting the back together. I got to lay off the food a little bit, just like everybody else. I put on a little bit of weight, but you know. Dude, I watched you slam a bottle of Crown in Fort Wayne. That was a different time. Let me tell you about Eric Bass. Up until probably a quarter of the way through the Threat to Survival tour, I would drink pretty much, well, at least half a bottle of Crown on stage every night. And Hoogie would we got where I drink it out of the bottle, and Zilla too, my tech before Hoogie. You know, and it was fun, man. It was great. I think I played better, and I'm not just lying. I mean, I'm not one of these people that just says I played better because I was drunk. Like, I never really got drunk. It was more of a steady buzz, but, you know, it really helped with the anxiety and stuff, and I just had to stop doing it. I had to stop drinking just because of my depression and stuff. It wasn't healthy. So, yeah, I don't slam the Crown Royal anymore on stage, but, you know, those were good times, though. You know, sometimes I miss it. I look at Barry sometimes because Barry and I used to drink on stage a good bit, and I'm just like, you know, every once in a while you kind of miss it. But I'll tell you what, man, we're a better band without all of that stuff. So, hey, Kelly Bass is in the building. She's now walked across from the house to join the chat. So, well, she's not going to even sit over here next to me. Do you want me to sit next to you? Yeah, I want you to sit next to me. Come on. We'll get the wife in the chat now. My favorite book. Man, I read a good bit, and it depends on whether it's fiction or nonfiction. I would have to say, one of my favorite fiction books was Ender's Game. I don't know. They made sort of a sort of bad movie out of that. From what I hear, I never saw the movie. I wouldn't watch the movie. But I love that. I read a ton of nonfiction books. Jordan Peterson's got a great book called 12 Rules for Life that I like a lot. I've read. Let's see. I'm really interested in Winston Churchill, so I read a lot of Winston Churchill books. A lot of World War II history, like Rommel and Churchill, and I'm interested in all sides of World War II. Anyway, that's just some of the stuff. There's a book called The Talent Code that I read. Is about how why talent comes from different parts of the world and how it originates and how it works, and that was really interesting as well. So anyway, yeah, somebody says the movie version of Ender's Game was not good. So what is Kelly drinking? And I read the whole Ender series, like all of it, and I figured that, you know, once you've read all of those books that the movie's probably not going to stack up. So. And the Ender series got really weird after Ender's Game too, but it was really great. Let's see, what's Kelly drinking? Kelly, what are you drinking, Kelly?
It's a mimosa.
Kelly is drinking a mimosa, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. She is drinking a mimosa. Have you written any songs inspired by a book you have read? I have not, and I don't know if the band has or not. I don't know if Brent's written written anything inspired by a book or not. But anyway, we have done, like, I guess Diamond Eyes wasn't really for a book, but we had a premise that was given to us to write to. So I guess that's sort of like that. And it was actually really cool when we finished writing Diamond Eyes. We wrote it for the first Expendables movie, and it didn't appear in the movie. It's on the director's cut. But we got to go sit down with Stallone and watch a rough cut of the movie with him in the room. And man, all of us creators are the same, whether you're Sylvester Stallone or just E-list celebrity Eric Bass, which is, we're all like super passionate about what we're doing. I mean, he was like a little kid, so excited for us to see this rough cut of this movie. I mean, there's no CGI in it or anything, and he was just explaining everything and all jazzed about everything in it, man. So that was a cool experience. But no, that wasn't. I mean, I guess that was sort of an assignment thing, where it's like you're given the premise of a movie or a premise of a situation, and then you write around that. So
those people are trying to get in your video.
I know. He's not trying to get my video. He said he's hunting Easter eggs right now.
Oh.
What are you doing, Kelly? What's your favorite ride at Disney World?
Rock and Roller Coaster.
She didn't say her husband. See that.
Well, I mean, I'm just going with like the actual,
Come on. Golly, man, I can't win.
I'm keeping it PG.
Star Wars Episode 9 thoughts. I'll give you a little bit of this. I'm not going to give it all away because I'm going to make everybody tune in tomorrow night. Mark Riley on YouTube. I'm doing his Star Wars show called Riley's Cantina at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to talk Star Wars for like an hour and 15.
2 hours.
Maybe 2 hours. I don't know. But Star Wars Episode 9, I have to say that I was strangely fulfilled at the end of that movie, and I didn't expect to be. So I'll leave it at that. We'll get into details tomorrow night. I'll make you guys tune into that. Yeah, you know what? I saw the movie twice in the theater, and I haven't seen it again. I haven't watched it since it came out on digital, but I was way more fulfilled at the end than I thought I would be. So, Kelly, what's your favorite Shinedown song?
Enemies.
All right.
I like Amaryllis too.
There we go. I love that. Let's see. Cute couple. That's only because of her. What else we got? Anybody got any questions? Anything anything anybody wants to know about what's going on right now?
Lego Star Wars fan.
You know what? I haven't seen the Lego Star Wars. Okay, so I said I know a lot about Star Wars, but that's one that I haven't seen. My boy Mike Cass is asking me how I'm feeling physically. I'm feeling good, feeling strong. I rolled my ankle over the other day. Dino came over to train me, and Dino flies drones, and he's really, really super good at it, so he brought his drone over. And I bought these drones online that I thought were good, and they're really pieces of shit. And I didn't really know it till he told me. He didn't really tell me it was a piece of shit, but he's like, I could see him kind of giving the drone the side eye a little bit. And anyway, we turned my drone on to fly for the first time, and it just took off and flew away on its own. He couldn't control it. It just went up, and then landed in a tree. So we spent the next 2 hours trying to throw a tennis ball to get the drone out of the tree, just like I was 8 years old again, trying to get something out of the tree.
And it's still
in the tree. But I rolled my ankle over doing that. So
yep.
I got to be, I think it's okay. It's like a low ankle sprain. So I'm going to try to get back to the run this week with it. I saw somebody ask what amps Zach uses in the studio on Attention, and on some of the other records. We used, I have two Marshalls that I love a lot. One is a JCM 800, like early 80s JCM 800, and then a late 70s JMP Master Volume that we used. And then there's a Diesel Herbert, the same Diesel Herbert that's been on Sound of Madness and all the way up through most of the records. I think maybe the only one we didn't use that we didn't use that on was maybe Threat to Survival. But that, and then so Doug McKean, the guy that engineered the record, has engineered great records such as American Idiot and Black Parade and a lot of Talking Heads records. Dave Matthews, all sorts. He has this little Ampeg amp he calls the Secret Weapon, and we use that a lot. It's actually the first guitar on American Idiot is that little amp, that same amp. and that thing's a lot of fun, man. So we use a lot of cool stuff on the record. In fact, I was just going through making stems for the record. So we have something we're working on that we need those. And stems are where you just break everything down to just drums, just bass, everything like that, just stereo tracks. But then if you play it all together, it sounds like the mix, but you can solo each thing out. That's for people who didn't know. But I was going through making stems, and I came across a couple of songs that Zach played bass on too, because we switch around instruments in the studio a lot, and he's got such a cool pocket, man. That it's just, that's what makes Shinedown such a unique band too. I think sometimes is that we're not tied down to just what we do on stage. You know, we all contribute everything. Brent played triangle on the record. Listen to Creatures of Habit. The first chorus on Creatures of Habit, there's a triangle, just like on the first chorus. And Brent wanted to put a triangle on it, so he went in there and played the friggin' triangle, man. So, but yeah, man, it was cool listening back to those tracks and getting into Zach's bass tracks too, because that was a lot of fun. Let's see what's going on here. Favorite fan gift you've received? I've got a couple, man. I got one that sticks out. And I'm not going to remember names, so I'm sorry if any of you are on here. And believe me, I keep everything. I keep every fan gift I've ever gotten, and she can vouch for this because we have them in.
We have boxes.
Yeah, man, I don't have it. I don't have that thing in my heart where I can get rid of something that somebody has given to me or made for me. So I hang on to them. But every once in a while, you'll get one that's that you really love, and I love all of them. I don't mean like you really. I don't love the other. Man, I can dig myself a hole like really fast.
Keep digging.
But a fan of ours brought me a rock, and there've been two rocks that I've got that fans brought me. These two things stick out to me for some reason. I had one fan that she has a lot of anxiety and depression, anxiety especially to where she didn't think she could leave her house. And also she was overweight. And she got in shape and decided she loves rescuing dogs. It's like her favorite thing. So she signed up to go to the Himalayan mountains in help me out. It's not Tibet. It's in, maybe it's Tibet.
I don't know.
Anyway, but went to the Himalayas and started rescuing dogs in the Himalayas, which is amazing. Wow. And she brought me a rock from Mount Everest Base Camp, and I'm like, that is the coolest thing. Not because I actually love geology too. I think it's really interesting, but not because of that, but because of what's the story behind it is that this woman, got herself in shape, got over all of her fears, and went and did something that most of us would be uncomfortable doing without anxiety. Going to a foreign country and living there for months to rescue animals. And she actually brought back a couple of the dogs too. She rescued some and brought them back home with her. And those are her dogs she has at her house, which I love. But she brought me a rock from Everest Base Camp, and I've got that. That sits on my bedside table. And then I've got I think it's called a worry stone. Somebody says the fan gave me that. It's a flat rock, but it has a little indentation in it. And when you start getting anxiety, you keep it in your pocket. And you just kind of rub that little indentation, and I actually use it, and I love that, man. So yeah, those are two really cool fan gifts but there are tons of them, man. I've got pictures hanging in my wardrobe case that fans have given me. We've actually got a couple of pictures hanging in our house.
Christmas ornaments
that fans have given us, and there's Christmas ornaments that fans have given us. We use at Christmas, and our dogs painted and yeah, man, we had a fan give us Christmas ornaments one time that had our dogs and her horses painted on them, and I thought that was just so unique, man. I told somebody the other day that we have such an amazing. I think we probably have the most different relationship with our fans than any other bands, and I know bands that have rabid fans, like the fans love the band. And sometimes the bands, they can laugh at the fans, or they can, not all bands. But I just know bands that are like that, And we're not like that at all, man. We really cherish our fans. We remember fans, and we remember things about fans, and the fact that we have fans that now I know on a first name basis, And I think that's a really special thing, man. So we really do love you guys and appreciate you all very much. Let's see. What else we got, man? Anybody got any other questions? Let me see. What else can... Anyway, I'll let you guys know a little bit more about what I'm doing with the record, man, and the book and everything. The music is very... it's kind of metal centric. It's pretty metal. It's pretty heavy, but it's also weird, man. I just decided to like throw off any anything in my head that said I can't do this or I can't do that. You know, I'm not supposed to do this style or I'm not supposed to do that thing. I said I'm not doing that. I'm going to put anything that means something to me. If I hear it and I want to make it happen, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to put it in here. And I told Kelly one night, I walked in the house and I said, I think I might be making something that's unlistenable. But you know what? If it's unlistenable, then it's unlistenable, and that's what it is. I'm enjoying the process. It's music I had to get out of me. I remember I was sitting with Brent, and I forget where we were. I want to say we were in Europe, but maybe we weren't. Maybe we were in the U.S. and he and I were just talking in a hotel room on tour. And I said, "Hey, man, are you ready to start writing Shinedown stuff?" And he goes, "Absolutely not." And I said, "Okay, because then I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to use this stuff for something else. I got to get it out." And and I played everything. I played drums on it, and I'll post at some point the videos. I think there might be one on the Shinedown Instagram somewhere, but I can't play. I played marching band, and my feet aren't very fast at all when I play drums. I mean, I can play boom tap stuff and, you know, kind of work my way around a drum kit enough to record something simple. But when it comes to metal stuff, I can't do double bass. So I actually put the kick drum up on a stand and the snare drum next to it and the two toms. And I played the kick drums with my hands. So I had to play the kick drum and the snare with my hands all the way down the toms, and then I overdubbed the cymbals. And it worked. And Eric Rickard actually sat there and was patient with me through that whole process. And but it's been really nice just to be able to create something that's all mine, that I played every instrument on and wrote every lyric and sang every note, and it's a story too. I think the story is really interesting. The graphic novel story is really interesting, and I've been working with our really good friend at Marissa at Board Entertainment, and she's been doing a lot of the drawings for me and kind of helping me bring this world along, which has been amazing. I've kind of taken a hiatus from the story side to work on the record side, and I got to get back to that. So we're going to get back to work on that really soon. But anyway, somebody asked how many instruments do I play? I don't know. I play piano well. I play guitar well. I play bass well. I can play mandolin pretty well. I can play trombone well. Percussion stuff or whatever. But I can pretty much pick up any instrument and make it happen for a recording. That's really all I ever wanted out of instruments, was just to be able to record my ideas. So I can pick up an instrument,
all the instruments,
play it like long enough to get it down on record to make it sound like I knew what I was doing for that moment, you know. And then I forget how to play it again. But what instrument do you want to learn next? If I could learn an instrument, man, I would learn right now. If I would learn cello, probably cello or violin, viola, something like that. But cello, I think, you can do a lot with it. I have a friend named Ward Williams. Ward was and still is the cello player in a band called Jump Little Children, and I haven't seen Ward in years, man. But such a great cello player. He could play so high up on the neck that he could make it sound like a viola. So he could play this really... I could record entire string sections that I had in my head, or that he'd helped me with, just with a cello. So that showed me that it was very versatile. Bagpipes, man. Remember that Family Guy the other night with the bagpipes, where the killer stuffed the bagpipes in the body, and they're just like jumping around on Meg's body because she's dead? Yeah,
and for the person that asked, I don't play any instruments. None.
I tried to get her to sing on this. I tried to get her to sing on this. So I've got some...
There's nothing musical going on here.
Well, I've got... So in my story, there are these... I'm not going to give you guys the whole story right now, but there are these kids in a prison camp, and that's sort of like part of the thing, is these kids live in this prison work camp, and so there's a lot of kids singing together in a group, and I was like, I need some more kids' voices, because I've made my voice as many kids as I can, and she still wouldn't do it. So, oh well, pan flute. I've got a pan flute, and I play the pan flute. I can't... Well, I'm not Zamfir, but I can play the pan flute. Okay. I predict Atlas Falls will go to number 1 quickly. What do you think? It's doing it on its own, man. The label's not working the song at radio or anything, but radio stations are playing it, which I think is amazing, because of the good it's doing right now for everyone. So I'm into it. I can play... Zach Meyer says skin flute. I can play the skin flute too. We all can. We can all do that. And my friend Tommy says he'll sing too. My friend Tom Orth, ladies and gentlemen, aka Tommy Pecker, has quite possibly the best singing voice of any human being on the planet. His tone is unmatched.
Memorable.
Yep. Put your hands together and your earplugs in for my good friend Tommy Pecker. Anyway, but yeah, guys, once again, tomorrow night at 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 Pacific, and you guys that are in between know what that means. So it would be 8765. You can all figure out where you live. My friend Mark Riley, that is Mark as in Mark, Riley as in Reilly on YouTube. Mark Riley, that's his channel. Formerly of Collider fame. I'm going to be doing his Star Wars show called called Riley's Cantina tomorrow night. Star Wars talk for an hour, hour and a half, hour and 15. Whenever he says we're done, we're done. So I just want to remind you guys of that. That's why I came on here. I know I've said it a few times, but I want all you guys to tune in, man. And also subscribe to his channel because he also does. He's just such a great. He's a movie nut. He's an incredible screenwriter and script writer. And he's got a couple other shows. He's got one called Camp Blood, which is for horror films. And he basically has guests come on and they just talk about these movies that they love. And he also has some stuff about, he'll talk about the movie business and whatnot. Sure. Once again, man, yeah, Zach, are you fishing right now, Zach? He was fishing the other night when I FaceTimed and he was fishing, and I kept dropping the F-bomb and Ollie's fishing next to him. I'm like, man, I'm sorry. And he goes, no, he's like, no, I got earbuds in. I'm like, okay, we're good. So yeah, he sits out there and fishes and anyway. Anyway, let's see what else we got. What else is going on?
Somebody asked where we met.
Where did we meet? Kelly and I met not far from where we live at a place called Kiowa Island.
Yep.
And it's like a resort island type place. And I used to go out there to meet chicks all the way through high school. And I know they're not called chicks anymore, but I'm old. So I call them chicks. To meet girls from the time I was in high school till a little after college or high school or whatever. But during the summer, like girls from Ohio would come down for a week and then they'd be gone. And you'd have a different influx of girls every week. So that's what we did during the summer. And it's a private island, so you'd have to sneak on, which was always fun. But her mom had a beach house out there, and I was hitting on her best friend. And her best friend invited me to a party at her friend Kelly's house. And I walked in, and Kelly was kissing on this other dude who was a swimmer and doing shots, and they were just having fun hanging out. And so I didn't really think much of it. And then she called me a couple days later.
Yep, that's right.
And the rest is history.
Yep.
We were teenagers. We have we have all the bad pictures from the
bangs.
Yeah, man.
Kelly had bangs.
Yes. Somebody said South Carolina ? Yes, South Carolina.
Yes.
We live on Johns Island.
We are both from South Carolina,
in Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm live from Charleston, South Carolina right now. I've nicknamed my studio in my house the Wuhan Ranch. That's what it's called now. Yep. So I think the new studio will be called the Bunker at Wuhan Ranch. Because it is, man. Like my studio became the Wuhan Ranch. It's like all I can do is this. This is what I do while we have the and I don't care if people say it's not politically correct to call it Wuhan. I call it the Wuhan. That's what it is. Look, man, if the virus came from Charleston, they call it the Charleston virus.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad about that. My parents live in Beaufort. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll give you guys I'll take 3 more questions. Let's say 3 more. 3 more questions. Someone give me 3 more questions, and I'm gonna peace out. Let's see. Favorite show of the Attention tour. No, hang on. There's some that definitely stick out, man, for sure. Okay, we played. This is when Zach wasn't with us. He was at home with Avery was being born, and we were in Europe with Josh Sturm playing guitar. We played a very small place in Barcelona, Spain. It wasn't very big. I think like 1,000 capacity or something. And the power went out on stage. We've had this happen a lot recently. Seems like the power went out. but it was the power went out in the whole block, so it wasn't coming back on. So we went behind the stage and we're like, let's just play acoustic. So we got the acoustic guitars. We walked down into the middle of the crowd and got everybody to sit down in the middle of this club, in this sweaty, gross club, to sit down on the floor. And we played, I know we played 45. I think we played Second Chance. We played a couple other things, acoustic right there. And then the power came back on. We got up on stage and finished the show. But there was just something about that crowd being just dead quiet and listening to everything and singing along too, which was amazing. That was a great show. The O2 show, the last show we played in December in London was amazing, man. And I think we actually have that recorded somewhere. So who knows? Maybe one day we'll put out a recording of that or something. But anyway, that was a lot. Razzmatazz, that's it. Hoogie said he got it. Zach said fish on again that I'm good luck. Well, I can't stay on here all night, man. When I got on here, it was funny. I watched the people, like when I first got on, everybody's hoping it's Brent. And the numbers were like 700. And then when everybody saw it was me, they dropped down and they've been at like steady 400 ever since. Sorry, not Brent.
Sorry.
Oh well. Let's see. Another question. Do you have anything? Let's see. Hitler. Have I read anything into the rise of Hitler before World War II? I actually have. It's an interesting story. You know, I mean, I by no means, think that guy did anybody any favors, man. It's absolutely horrendous and horrible what he did. He and Stalin and Mussolini and man, just some of the worst atrocities of all time. But yeah, man, Hitler's story before World War II is extremely interesting, and the vacuum that was created after World War One, and the way that vacuum was filled in Germany is the reason why he became who he became. But I'm not going to bore everybody with all of that. You can turn it on the military channel, Here's Your Channel, just about any night and hear that all about that stuff. So. How many songs are written for the next album? Kelly, how many?
0.
That many. One penis in the hand.
One goose egg.
Yeah, 0 right now. Well, but I said, but maybe that's not true because we have things that I sent Zach and Brent a song today that I recorded last night that I can guarantee won't be on a Shinedown record. But, we're always sending each other things like that, and we're writing for other things, or we have ideas and things we squirrel away and save.
Reaffirmed it.
So
0.
yeah, Zach says 0 chance. But we've probably all got ideas sitting around that are going to be on the Shinedown record that are already laid down somewhere. So I can't say we have 0. We just don't know what they are yet. And so. How are Brent, Zach, and Barry doing with all of this? Well, Zach is fishing right now. He's on here. He said I'm good luck because he keeps catching fish while I'm on this chat. And Brent's good, man. He's in a hotel in Los Angeles. Sucks. Like I said, we were all supposed to be together right now. I think he's gonna, as soon as he can, he's gonna come to Charleston, and we're gonna start writing some stuff, and and Zach will get here as soon as he can, and we'll all convene as soon as possible. Barry is having a great time with his family, yep. And everything I see and everything he sends me, and we talk via text and stuff, and we have a text conversation called Band Bus Dudes, and it's all the guys that ride the band bus. So it's the band guys, John and Kent and Chris Lightcap. And we all keep a text thing, so we're always on there just sending each other memes and stuff every day. So we're always talking. Everybody seems to be really, really well, doing really well as well as we can do. But here's my hope, and I really think this is going to be the case, is that this is a giant reset button that we needed as a people. And I hate the way this is having to go down, but everything was so fast paced, and I mean. And not that anything on Twitter has gotten less hateful, but there's definitely a lot more understanding right now. And I think we're all taking this deep breath that we all needed. It's stressful. It's it's not under the best circumstances, but I think it's reminding us of a lot of things that are important that we probably all forgot about. So, or had forgotten about, temporarily. And I think maybe we'll have a more what's a good way to put it? We'll have a more tolerable rat race when we get back to it. How about that? What's the hardest song I've ever worked on? Hardest how? I guess I would say like hardest to play or hardest to write. Are we just talking about Shinedown songs? Every project. So let's put it this way: every album, whether it's the album I'm working on right now, or a Shinedown record, or an album I produced for another band, every album has one or two songs that are gonna fight you until the last minute. It's almost like they don't want to be born. And those end up being my favorites. So Special was like that on Attention, and so was Human Radio. And I've said this in interviews, and so if you guys already know this, I apologize if I'm giving you old information, but Human Radio, the big, we march, we fight, we live, we scream, we die, we give, that part had probably 4 or 5 different things in that place over the course of that song, even when we were making the record. Like, not only the writing, but the making of the record. And I think it was Thanksgiving. Everybody had gone home. Hoogie was still in Charleston with me because he's Canadian and he doesn't. They have weird Thanksgiving. They have October 1st or 2nd Thanksgiving. So he stayed and had Thanksgiving with me and Kelly. But we were in the studio on Thanksgiving Day, and I brought up that song, and everything else I had tried on that song was with the guitar. And I told Hoogie, I showed him how to run Pro Tools, and I told him all the buttons to hit and everything. And I went out to the piano, and I played the progression that's there now on the piano because it caused me to do something different. And I sang 2 different melodies over it. One was a little more like, it sounds funny how to think about it. One was a little more Chili Peppers sounding, and the other one was What's There Now, and it was more anthemic. And when Brent came back from Thanksgiving break, I just said, what do you think of this? And we sat down and wrote it, and got it done, got it finished. But that it was last minute. I mean, it didn't. It took a long time to materialize. And then the mix on Black Soul. I think the mix on Black Soul, I worked on that mix until, and I didn't work on it constantly, but I couldn't get it right. And I think I got it right the day before we went to mastering or something. And then it was like, there it is. Because I really wanted that chorus to hit really hard, there are always songs that are really difficult like that. As far as being hard to play, there's always that stuff. I'm sort of tenacious though. I'll sit down but I have learned one thing, especially in the studio, when something's hard to play, if you sit there and do it too much, you lose it. There's this peak moment of you've played it, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, and it just goes back downhill again, and you might as well just put it away at that point. So, you really gotta know exactly when that peak is there, when you got it. And I have a bad habit of erasing everything that happened right at the peak, thinking I'm going to get it better, and I never do. And then I have to wait till the next day and do it all over again. So, anyway, I promise I'm going to do something about the hair.
There's been a lot of comments about your hair.
I will, man. I know. Well, I'm not going to go back out on tour with it like this. It's just, this is the F it all. I'm at home. I don't know. So let's see.
A lot of people would love to have this much hair.
Oh, I guess
it's impressive.
I guess so. Any questions for the wife?
No.
All right. Well, Kelly,
clippers.
Kelly, get the clippers. Yeah. Yeah. Right. It is quarantine hair for sure. That's exactly what it is. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on my record and what's going on with it. Once again, it's not, it'll never replace Shinedown. That's not the purpose or anything like that. As artists, you have to do things. Sometimes it's nice to do things outside of your norm. And so I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to release everything off of it, whether I want to do, one issue of the comic and a song, or if I want to release the whole album as a piece with maybe just the drawings and the comic parts that go with each song at the time. And then when the book comes out, it fills in those blanks. But we'll see. I thought it might be really nice to be able to do maybe a 10-minute Quibi animated thing to release it. Maybe you see these characters live at first, and then that way their personalities, and you can you can latch onto them. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. And I'm also thinking about doing. I've been talking to Zach and of course Brent would do it and Barry will do. They all do it. But getting Kent to do it, getting John to do it, but doing a little podcast thing for you guys, man, maybe a couple times a week where we're all on the screen, maybe on our YouTube channel, and just us sitting around, maybe just picking a subject and just talking like this.
Will your book be a national publish?
Will my book be nationally published?
We can only hope.
That's up to the publishers.
That would be
it's
awesome.
up, just like with anything else in the entertainment business, man. You gotta sell it.
You see your horses and dogs. Well,
my dogs are inside and the horses aren't here right now. We're actually the barn. We're gonna start building the barn in May out here. So then we'll have the horses out here on the land. So that'll be nice. The dogs are inside. So anyway, all right, guys. Love you all. Tomorrow night, Mark Riley's YouTube channel. Just look up Mark Riley. And I'll be on his Star Wars show, Riley's Cantina, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to talk Star Wars. And I can promise you this, I'll be wearing the same shirt and these same black pants and those same Vans with no socks on and probably these glasses, and I probably would not have had a shower yet.
And your hair will look just like this.
Yep. So anyway, guys, love you all very, very much. You all please stay safe out there. Look forward to seeing you all soon. Okay. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll see you all tomorrow night on Riley's Cantina. Peace.
Bye.